All right, man, let's talk about yesterday and how coaching lost the game for Detroit Lions. Obviously, defensively, they were piss poor. We know that, but a lot of it was coaching. Aaron Glenn and Dan Campbell got out coached. Aaron Glenn didn't make an adjustment. He didn't know if he wanted to play man or play zone. Um, and a lot of people start counting their chickens before they hatch when they went out there and was talking about how both of their offensive tackles were out, and what they did was they moved the pocket, they did quick throws, and the Lions is just I could continue to say this, man. I said this for a long time. The Lions continue to be not athletic enough. Um, they're not athletic enough in the front seven, you know, and that's just what it is. They don't have enough athletes in the front seven. Aiden Hutchinson is really the only athlete out there. Charles Harris slow, Romeo slow. Julian is a great athlete, but he ain't never healthy. Um, you know, so a lot of these dudes that they got out there, they just don't have enough athletes out there. And in that front seven, at this point, it's time to play Charles Harris and Derek Barnes. They are um, they are the two best. They are the two best options out there. But at the end of the day, coaching is what's killing them. And apparently, like they ain't got Jameer Gibbs up to speed yet, so he ain't ready. You seen in pass pro, he wasn't ready, and that's why that interception came. Not the interception, but I think a sack or whatever it was. Golf, he ain't do nothing wrong in that game. Yeah, he threw a bad throw to Gibbs, but I believe Hot Tie got pushed out the game. They put Campbell in. He got blue in his lap, and that's exactly what happened. But 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 yeah. Then I mean, let's start off with Aaron Glenn. He seen Seattle last year. He came in with no game plan. One thing that probably gonna help him is getting Emmanuel Mosley back at some point. I told y'all they didn't have enough depth at the corner coming in. Um, Cam Sutton is good, but Jerry Jacobs is atrocious. They took advantage of him all day. Um, and it wasn't like they went up and down the field. They just made critical. They just made plays when they had to have them, and the Lions couldn't get off the field on third downs. It was as simple as that. And with Jerry Jacob, man, he's just a good backup at this point. He's terrible. He's trash. He's garbage. He was all those adjectives from yesterday, you know. And uh, and Aaron Glenn just didn't have an answer. It was blitzing, rushing four, rushing two, rushing three. He didn't have the answer, Sway. He didn't have the answers. And whether they was in zone coverage or man coverage, they got cooked. And Pascal was missed yesterday. Um, and the rest of them guys they got out there, like I told y'all, why is the old core brother still on the team? Well, trash. Kaminsky's a good backup. Charles Harris trash. Um, they got nobody that could push the pocket on the inside right now. So I don't see that problem healing up. They got too many issues in the defensive front. And then you lose Pascal, which he was very important and very vital, you know, to what they do. He was too important in what they do. And you lose him, you see a big difference in pass rush. You see a big difference in edge rushing, pressure on the inside. So there's only so much Aiden Hutchinson can do until you get some help. Um, it's only so much he can do. There's only so much he can do. So, uh, but yeah, he got thoroughly out coached. But the chump of the day, it wasn't Jerry Jacobs, it wasn't Aaron Glenn, it was Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell, uh, Dan Campbell made two critical errors that I can remember from this game, and one was going for it on 4th and 2 on his side of the field and giving the Seahawks a short field. That changed the momentum of the game around. He got to know when to go for it and when not to go for it. It's just simple as that. Um, and that was a bad decision. And then on the other side of it, on the other side of on the track on this one, okay, you want to be aggressive and go for it, but then you want to settle for the field goal to go into overtime, knowing your defense wasn't good. And somebody said, well, what if they would have won the coin flip? Woulda, shoulda, coulda, they didn't. So at the end of the day, how are you aggressive? And the same thing with Minnesota last year, which I gave them a pass in Minnesota. When the first game they played in Minnesota, I think that was week 2 or week 3 last year, where he was aggressive the whole game. And then when it was time to be aggressive, in a lot of people's opinion, he sat there and he kicked the ball or punted the ball away, and Minnesota came back down and scored. Y'all remember that? And I understood because he had several injuries in that situation, but pretty much everybody was healthy on this one. He had several injuries that game. This time, St. Brown went back on all that type stuff. So, but nonetheless, you know, go be aggressive, try to score a touchdown. And that's why I paid Manning say, I would rather be down 4 points than 3 because we needed a touchdown. And you think about, we can get a field goal, we can get a field goal, we can get a field goal. They should have went for the touchdown. If you're going to be, if you're going to be aggressive, and that's going to be your calling card as a head coach, go be aggressive. Go be aggressive. Go be aggressive. And if you gonna be, conservative like Pete Carroll, be conservative. And obviously at some points you're going to have to be aggressive, and other points you're gonna have to be, it's going to be what it is. But be aggressive. Don't sit there and swallow your whistle or swallow your playbook and settle for a field goal at the end of the day. Go score a touchdown. You can't count on your defense to do jack squabble crap. Go for the touchdown. So that's all I had to say, man. I ain't gonna you get too hyped, man. Like I said before, y'all had these expectations every year. Y'all get hyped up for these suckers, man, and they let you down. They got to show me, but they still first in the division because Green Bay lost to Atlanta at the end of the game. But at the end of the day, I don't have any confidence in this franchise until proven otherwise. And then how you lose and y'all unveil Barry Sanders statue. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially, want to support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.